apparently I wasn't like alone in this. Like I've told other people this and told some therapists, and they're like, yeah, people really think that way. People think like just because you go talk to somebody for 6 weeks, like all this anxiety you've built up is gone.
Yeah. When did you first become aware that mental health was a thing? Like, when did you realize, like, oh, this is something I need to care about?
Ooh, so that's a good question, because looking back, I can remember times as a teenager where I kind of felt like I shouldn't feel this way. Like I remember like thinking, why am I so sad? Like, why am I so anxious? Like things like that. But it wasn't until, and college was my first kind of dip into therapy and talking to a college counselor. But still, even after that, you know, I went my freshman year because I felt out of place and I just needed somebody to talk to. I thought once I was done with those sessions, I was like fixed. Like I thought, okay, done with those sessions, I'm good now.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's gonna. That's how I thought it worked. I literally thought it worked.
It's like getting your car back from the mechanic.
That's I literally what I thought it was. I'm like, no, guys, I'm fine. And you know, graduating from college, you know, I had a really fun and productive senior year. I was working full time, made my best grades. I had a lot of good, like, I was just staying busy. And I think staying busy helped in the way that I just couldn't think about things. Like I was so busy my senior year that I was like work, school, hobby, sleep, work, school, hobby, like friend, like it was just like, okay. And so once I got on my own and the weight starts piling on and I'm thinking to myself, like, why can't I like stop eating? Like, why can't I just, man, I just don't like the job I have. And I really don't like some of the people I hang out with, but I can't stop. And it wasn't really until probably my mid-20s, maybe late 20s, where mental issues, headspace, mindset, all that stuff kind of started, you know, becoming evident to me. But again, I still thought it was, okay, let me go get a therapist and few sessions, I'm fixed again. And apparently I wasn't like alone in this. Like I've told other people this and told some therapists, and they're like, yeah, people really think that way. People think like just because you go talk to somebody for 6 weeks, like all this anxiety you've built up is gone. Yeah. And, you know, it wasn't until I had one, you know, my therapist that I had for, you know, over 10 years off and on, where I was kind of waiting for him to end the sessions. I was just waiting. Okay, he wants to come back again. He wants to come back again. And one time I was just like, okay, well, and this is when I'm at late 20s, almost 30, I think. I was like, I guess we're going to be ending these pretty soon. And he kind of just looks at me. He's like, why would you say that? I was like, well, the last guy, he just kind of ended it. And he's like, no, this is not something you just end. Like we're working on you finding your triggers and building coping mechanisms. And you've had a lot of this stuff since you were a child and a teenager. And like, we're not just going to help you with this in a couple of sessions. He's like, this is something that we want to build you tools to use for life. We want to set you up for success for life. So it's going to take some time. And I was just like, no one's ever explained it to me that way. Like no one ever. And honestly, why would they? Like, I mean, it's just no one ever has explained it that way. And it made so much sense right when he said it. Like everything, like, oh, I wasn't fixed after those sessions. Like I still have things I need. This makes complete sense to me. So that was kind of the moment I'm like, okay, yeah, that this makes sense. And it's, you know, mental health is something that you have to, I mean, we don't just go to the gym for 6 months and we're, you know, totally good. We have to go back. Like the same thing happens mentally.
Yeah, good. Now I'm healthy for life.
Yes.
So it also may have been a case that you might not have been in the right place to hear that, because you said like it made
Good
sense
point.
at the time.
Yeah,
like maybe you maybe you got that message in slightly different ways earlier.
Probably
and
so.
you're just like, didn't hear it.